We have several live crews working for you this evening as we continue to follow the vaccine rollout in Central Virginia.
Our Brendan King tells us about the critical need for volunteer vaccinators, and Cameron Thompson explains when vaccine eligibility could expand.
But first, we start with our Jake Burns. He's hearing from a parent, a teacher advocate, and a doctor on efforts to reopen Virginia schools. Jake, what did you learn today?
Well, Bill and Candace, a recent survey of 200 Virginia pediatricians found that 90% of them reported increased instances of anxiety and depression among their young patients. No one is denying that there's going to be social and education losses associated with virtual learning. The debate really hinges on when it's safe to open up school buildings with a deadly virus still spreading in the community.
And it's a roller coaster.
Take it a day at a time. The strategy for Katie Woodard.
Mississippi River.
Good job.
As her daughter and son approach a full year of learning online.
He might just go off and start dancing. I honestly don't feel like he's learned anything this year. I mean, maybe. And it's not his teacher's fault. He's an 8-year-old boy. He doesn't have the attention span or the wherewithal to sit there all day.
Governor Northam is calling on schools to make in-person learning an option by March 15th. Following CDC research that shows COVID-19 transmission in schools is low.
There is no single mitigation measure that is 100% effective, but using a combination of them can be very effective.
Dr. Berrigan Nelson, a pediatrician at VCU, says schools can open safely if protocols are tightly followed.
We know that there's a higher risk of adults transmitting to each other than there is from children passing it to adults.
We must take the right time to do it right, with health and safety as our highest priority.
Dr. James Fetterman, president of Virginia's largest teachers union, says virtual learning is the safest option until school staff are vaccinated. Virginia teachers stood up virtual classrooms with little training, so he says they can close learning gaps too.
Educators are going to continue to deliver the high quality of instruction, and I've said for a very long time that we can recover from a loss of learning, but we can't recover from a loss of life.
I must say I have tremendous respect for teachers who are doing so many jobs and are working doubly hard.
Dr. Nelson studies childhood development and says emotional and educational support is most effective face-to-face.
We know how to treat depression. We know how to treat anxiety. We know how to support children who have had some academic struggles. And so I think once we get those supportive services back in place, we will have some catch up to do, but it's possible to really double down on our efforts to treat all of those concerns.
On a local level, we expect to hear updates from both Richmond and Chesterfield schools about their in-person learning models coming up at school board work sessions scheduled for Tuesday night. Working for you in Richmond, Jake Burns, CBS 6 News.